This is the Stars and Stripes in 7, your online source for editorially independent news and information for the U.S. military community. I'm Lamont Easter. A perfect storm of supply chain issues coupled with the ongoing coronavirus pandemic has arrived at Defense Department commissaries worldwide, leaving shelves empty and shoppers frustrated. The new year brought food shortages to Japan and South Korea, and periodic shortages have occurred in some stores in Germany and Italy. Higher consumer demand, a backlog of container ships at ports around the globe, and a shortage of drivers to haul merchandise away are contributing to the problem. Add ongoing COVID disruptions to any of these chain links, and supply interruptions will occur. Resupplying overseas commissaries is the top priority for the Defense Commissary Agency. In Italy, the commissary at Naval Air Station Siganola in Sicily put purchasing limits on some items after running out of fresh meat and other products. Under a stay-at-home order imposed by U.S. Forces Japan, base residents are allowed to shop in off-base stores as an essential service. Meanwhile, local grocery stores are still an option for U.S. military consumers. President Joe Biden is highlighting the federal government's efforts to send military medical personnel to help overwhelm medical facilities to weather the spike in coronavirus cases and staff shortages due to the highly transmissible Omicron variant. 1,000 military medical personnel will help mitigate staffing crunches at hospitals across the country. Many facilities are struggling because their workers are at-home quarantines due to the virus at the same time as a spike in COVID-19 cases. The deployments will be in addition to federal medical personnel who have already been sent to states to help with acute shortages. Biden spotlighted the work of more than 800 military personnel who have been helping civilian hospitals and the more than 14,000 National Guard members whose work is supporting vaccinations, testing, and caring for patients. Biden stated that 6 additional military medical teams were deployed to Michigan, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Ohio, and Rhode Island. The Defense Department Inspector General will launch a probe of the U.S. military's efforts to screen recruits for any past extremist or other banned behaviors. The probe comes amid increased scrutiny over the military links among some extremists, including dozens of veterans and a few current members of the armed forces who were charged with crimes. The objective of this audit is to determine whether military service recruiting organizations screened applicants for supremacist, extremist, and criminal gang behavior according to DoD and military service policies and procedures. The IG audit will be led by the organization's newest component, the Office of Inspector General's Diversity and Inclusion and Extremism in the Military, or DIEM. That office is responsible for the oversight of the Pentagon's policies related to extremism. The Defense Department issued new guidance on banned extremist activity, including announcing an effort to better standardize efforts across the military services to root out recruits with extremist ties. For the first time, the U.S. Army is offering a maximum enlisted bonus of $50,000 to highly skilled recruits who join for 6 years, as the service struggles to attract soldiers into certain critical jobs during the continuing pandemic. The annual recruiting goal fluctuates as currently serving soldiers decide whether to re-enlist or leave. To entice recruits, those who sign up for a 6-year enlistment in one of several high-demand career fields can get bonuses that total as much as $50,000. Given the high standards, it will be difficult for many to qualify for the top bonus. The Army increased the option to enlist for 2 years, expanding it to a total of 84 different career fields. 2 years of the pandemic has made it more difficult to recruit in schools and at public events, and the competition for quality workers has intensified as young people weigh their options. Veterans who identify as transgender or non-binary are now able to indicate their preference in their official medical records with the Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA said the change allows healthcare providers to better understand and meet the medical needs of their patients. The information also could help providers identify any stigma or discrimination that a veteran has faced that might be affecting their health. The department announced that it added the option of transgender male, transgender female, non-binary, and other when the veterans select their gender. The gender identifier, along with a veteran's preferred name, will be displayed on a patient's health record. VA Secretary Dennis McDonough stated that all veterans, all people, have a basic right to be identified as they define themselves. This is essential for their general well-being and overall health. He also indicated that knowing the gender identity of transgender and gender-diverse veterans helps the VA better serve them. Lastly, Bollinger shipyards in Lockport, Louisiana will supply a third major component of the system used to build the U.S. Navy's newest class of submarines. Bollinger will construct a giant pontoon that will float, maneuver, and stabilize the subs as their dry dock is flooded with water. Once the construction is complete, the pontoon, which sits below the submarine, can be lowered to the bottom of the dock so the sub can float on its own and be launched. The concept and contract design for the 496 by 95 foot pontoon launcher was performed by the Bristol Harbor Group in Rhode Island. Detailed design and engineering will be performed at the Bollinger facility in Lockport. The pontoon launcher is scheduled to be delivered in 2024. In September 2020, Bollinger landed a contract to build a 618 by 140 foot floating dry dock to support the sub's construction and maintenance. The dry dock is scheduled also to be delivered in 2024. And that is all for this edition of Stars and Stripes in 7. I'm Lamont Easter, helping you stay connected.